In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another special quarantine episode of the GeniusBrainPodcast. Man, I'm back at square one, back in the crib, baby. You know how it is. Very, very nice. We don't do wardrobe changes in here. If you guys are watching this shit, they're like, they're wearing the same thing. And no, it's exactly what it is, but we're not changing out of clothes because we're just shooting these things back to back while we have them, baby.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with wearing the same clothes, though?
Do you do that thing where well, first of all, ever since this whole shit happened, I'm actually washing so much of my fucking clothes. It's unreal.
Yeah, same here. My yoga pants are like super frayed.
Yeah. It's just all fucked up. So I'm trying to wear the same clothes over and over just so I don't fuck up my other clothes, because every time I walk out, I touch something, I come in, take it off, and I wash them or throw them in the basket.
Same. Is your basket right next to the door?
We have it. So what I do is I take it off, I hang it up.
So you just run. So you take off all your clothes and you walk butt naked to the house
with my boxers all the way up. I shit you not. Yeah. So I hang it up and I leave it up there for 3 hours because it lives on fabric for an average of about 3 hours or less, depending. Up on steel and plastics, the virus can last up to 1 to 3 days, and cardboard only an hour.
Shit.
So if you get a package, you leave it out there for an hour, you should be fine.
Was that right? Man, fucking Becca lying to me.
What'd she say?
We had a Amazon package outside, and I think she bought weights. Yeah, it was weights from like Target. And I was like, "Oh, did you guys get a package? Because this is yours, obviously." She's like, "Oh, can you put it back outside? It's only been you have to keep it there for like 4 hours."
No, it's only an hour. I just watched a video yesterday where a doctor was going through every fucking type of surface that it'll last on, and they said cardboard was about an hour, right, Chaggy? Yeah, she says, yeah, so that's Mariel. Yeah, so cardboard is an hour.
Cardboard.
But he was saying some ridiculous shit. He was saying that, not ridiculous, but I guess like if we're trying to be as precautionary as possible, the dude was saying that when you get your groceries, because everything's wrapped in plastic, you don't know where it's been, leave it outside for 3 days and then bring it inside.
3 days?
Are you trying to leave milk outside for 3 days, bud? What are you talking about, man?
So what the whole thing about like not wiping it down with like Lysol wipes, that doesn't...
I guess that might work too, but it's hard to get Lysol wipes as it is right now.
Yeah, true.
So I got to order that shit and then wait. Hopefully it'll come in like a week.
Yeah, even at Custom Pie they had... I don't know why I'm thinking about this, but they have like a big tub of hand sanitizer that one of their... customers made for them. I guess he's like a doctor or some kind of like pharmacist, whatever. But I was like, was it 99% or was it 70% alcohol? And she was like 99. I'm like, you fucked up. You fucked up. Because 99%, like, to the water solubility of the water and the alcohol, the water helps trap the virus, and like the alcohol like can do its thing in this contained space. With 99%, it just like scorches the whole thing. Oh yeah. So the virus can like just still live through that. It could go away from. Oh. Yeah. I was like,
I got lucky because I was doing Sen Foods, and then I bought like this whole box of Purell alcohol wipes, and I just been using it for Sen Foods, but we haven't been going for it, so I still have like 300 of those wipes left. So when I go out to the grocery store, I bring 3. Walk in. When I walk out, before I get in the car, I wipe my hands down, go in, then wipe it out, and then I'm pretty much good. My hands are dry as fuck, though.
Yeah, my hands are dry.
It's super fucking dry. People have been getting dermatitis.
Dermatitis. Yeah. A friend, she's been getting that shit, or about to be if she doesn't take care of her hands. She has like medical petroleum jelly to like...
Really?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
But I didn't know that dermatitis, like your hand starts to crack and it'll pus and it'll blister. And I don't know what the reason, but it's, people don't know what the exact reason is, but I know that, I think I read it was like due to like stress is one of them. It's almost like eczema, and then it'll pus and crack and stress. It's fucking disgusting. Yeah. So on this episode of we're going to talk about another documentary. We on this documentary tip, man.
So is everybody in the world. Everybody's talking about Netflix and Hulu and Disney. So why not us too?
Netflix found the formula. It's ridiculous documentaries that we would have never known about. That it's weird because the stuff that you see in these docs, they're on the local news, or they're like
televised. Like we should have known about it. Like Nation.
We should have known about this shit, but I don't know if it's because we become desensitized, or so when the stuff pops up, we just move past it.
Probably because it moves so damn fast.
Exactly. Yeah. But if you guys haven't watched this shit, dude, this is probably one of my favorite documentaries I've ever seen in my life. shout outs to Tiger King Belly.
Jugs. Oh,
I say Tiger King Belly. When I first saw the title of Tiger King, I thought it was Bobby Lee Special, but it's not. It's Tiger King. Tiger King is the most ridiculous documentary about a bunch of people who own a ridiculous amount of tigers in the United States.
Yeah, bunch of fucking egomaniacs.
Yeah, not even just tigers. We're talking about tigers, lions, whatever type of exotic animal you can think of. But this shit is so fucking ridiculous. There are more tigers in captivity in the United States than there are in the wild.
Yep.
That's how fucking many tigers there are. And the weird thing about this that we found out was, I guess, like, there's a law that you can't import tigers, but if they're already here and you're breeding them, that's whatever.
Yeah, I guess it's not a federal law.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you have to have a license, but people still do it in the black market to this day.
Yeah, and dog, it only costs like $3,000 for a tiger. I was like, I could buy one right now.
Yeah.
Easy. No no fucking problem. I could have a tiger right fucking now in my living room.
Yeah. Edric was kind of like that. Edric was like very interested in like the
buying a tiger.
Market. Yeah, he wanted a white tiger. I remember he was so obsessed with that in high school. He's like, I could buy one for like $3,000 off of the cargo ship, and if we go down to Long Beach,
Edric weighs like 85 pounds. What the fuck is he gonna do with the tiger, dude?
You know, Edric.
I seen fucking Edric sprain his ankle on a twig, dude. This fool's so skinny, he wouldn't be able to pet that tiger. Would fuck him up.
It would.
That fool is fucking insane.
Yeah.
But it was interesting because when I was watching this documentary, I first thought it was going to be, the way they edited this documentary was fucking hilarious too. It's money.
Yeah.
It's so fucking money.
Yeah.
So there's this weird battle between these people who are, at the end of the day, it's about dollars. It's about money. Money is God to everybody.
Money, profit. Yeah,
so the problem with these egomaniacs is that they all have this idea that what they're doing for, or their MO is that, oh, we're doing this for the animals, we're doing this for the tigers. But the real thing is that they're doing it either for personal gain and glory or for a lot of fucking money. So Tiger King is this guy named Joe Exotic. Joe Exotic is probably, let's say this, I like using this example of how ridiculous somebody looks. If there was a black dude that hated white people and he was a cartoonist and he drew a white person, that's what that white person would look like. Trailer fucking trash.
Yeah.
To the T. He looks so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. He's wild. He just, I've never seen anything like him.
Mullet. So here's the weird part of this guy, Joe Exotic. Number one, he's like, I think he's super right wing. He's gay. He loves guns. He owns fucking tigers, and he's also a country singer.
Yeah. Which I just found out that those songs, spoiler alert, most of it isn't him singing.
What?
Yeah. Most of the song.
Ray told me that yesterday too. That's right.
Yeah, most of the songs he just kind of like whispers in the background, like he kind of like adds a little vocal.
You know what was weird? Because when I saw that, right, I was like, this guy's fucking fire, bro.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah, I was thinking that shit.
He's good. I was like, this is dope. He becomes like the main person in the documentary, but it's kind of linked to all these other people who own different tiger sanctuaries as well. What was the girl that he always? What was her? Well, I forgot her name. That he battles all the time.
Carol.
Is
that her name?
I think it is Carol.
Yeah.
Let's see. Tiger King. Carol. She was weird, dude.
She's mad weird.
Tiger King is fucking Carol Baskin. That's her name.
Baskin. Yeah.
Look at this article. It says that she rejects Netflix documentary's portrayal of herself. Carol is supposed to be one of those tiger sanctuary people that are actually doing it for the tigers. But out of everybody who does this, she makes the most money.
Yeah.
She is balling out of her fucking mind. The interesting part by the way, if you haven't seen this doc, don't listen to this shit. Just watch it.
Please.
This is for people who have seen it or who aren't going to see it. Carol has this one weird moment in her life where everybody's personal story is so fucking weird. There's Joe Exotic, who is the gay tiger wrangler who owns guns and all this other shit. Carol has this one part in the documentary where they mention that she happens to be a gajillionaire, and her husband, who she gained the money from, happened to just disappear. She fucking fed her husband to those tigers. It's not fact, apparently.
Yeah, you better be careful, man. She can send her lawyers against you.
Man, fuck her, dude. How about that, Carol? You fucking murderer.
She can shut you down.
For fact, Carol, you definitely fed your ex-husband to a tiger. What did they find out? What did the lawyer say that was really weird?
Oh, in the will that she went back and changed it from, she added death or disappearance, or death and disappearance. And disappearance, like in that lawyer, I guess not the executor. I think it was a lawyer saying like in his 38 years, he's never seen that on a will.
Yeah. Why would you write
like a last minute change in a will?
And then he just disappears.
He disappears.
And then she gets 90% of the money.
Yeah.
When she married this guy, she was like 22 years younger than him or some shit like that.
Yeah,
it was
crazy.
Some kind of crazy double digit number. When I saw a picture, so if you look at a picture of Carol, she looks fucking insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
She looks like a crazy person.
Yeah. She looks like, for a hot second, I got like a Mimi from the Drew Carey show. But kind of. I mean, Mimi was a little more extreme with her makeup and her blue eyeshadow and stuff like that. But Carol Baskin, she was also crazy during that music video when he got the lookalike.
Oh, it looked just like
I was
her.
like, did he get Carol in his music video? These people were crazy, but it was a lookalike.
So the funniest thing that you'll notice about this documentary is that every person, for some fucking reason, that owns a tiger sanctuary loves doing music videos. They love doing music videos. And so this guy, Joe Exotic, hates Carol Baskin a lot because Carol and him have been battling throughout this whole legal dispute. So he became so fucking petty. He took their logo and created his own entertainment company. Yeah. And so it was like a copyright thing.
It was like Big Cat Rescue Corp versus Big Cat
Rescue Entertainment. And it was just like so fucking petty.
Yeah.
But he would put out all these videos about how number one, he would call her a bitch.
Right.
And
he called her more than that.
You could find, I guess you could look it up on YouTube. And it's probably all, I don't know why he never looked this shit up. It's probably all on YouTube. But he would talk about like, if I see her, I'm going to fucking murder her.
Right, on site.
I'm going to kill her. And then he would set up like dummies with her face on it.
Put
and
a dildo in her mouth and like
blow it up.
Oh, come on, man. All his friends were like, yo, you need to chill out, dude. It's just going to catch up to you. And
the craziest thing that this motherfucker did was at a certain point that their drama was getting so fucking crazy. He came back one day and the shed that had so there was a documentarian that was with him prior to the guy who documented this film, that was doing a reality TV show based on him.
Oh yeah, Rick something.
Yeah. And so he was doing a reality TV show and he had compiled about 5 years worth of fucking footage. And there was a shed that had all the footage, all the equipment, all the cameras, right? And also all the crocodiles in there.
Oh, yeah.
That the exotic animals that were also within this shed. And that's where they kind of stored the equipment. Somebody, as an arsonist, burned that whole fucking place down. Now, interesting thing. He is doing this video talking about we are going to find the person who did this, blah, 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 blah. Well, the documentarian who was with him, they basically at all times, they were recording his life. And that was something that Joe Exotic actually loved doing. Joe loves documenting his whole life. He loves cameras. Every day that he was awake, he recorded his life. Yeah. So for every day that he owned that sanctuary, there was a video of him doing his everyday life. So the thing that he loved was actually the evidence that damned him, because there was somebody with him when he was talking to like some legal person.
Counsel,
that he found out that the documentarian that was with him for 5 years that was going to create a reality TV show based on him actually owns all the footage. That Joe doesn't own any of this fucking footage. Right. And so prior to that place being burnt down, he had a conversation with the lawyer, and the lawyer goes, and the lawyer was kind of almost like hinting like, hey, you got to fucking burn this
shit down.
And he's walking out upset, like, fuck this guy. And he kind of alludes, he goes like, so what are we going to do? He goes, well, I'm going to fucking destroy that shit. And then lo and behold, what happens? Arson. Everything gets burnt down. All the equipment's gone. So this fool burned down his own place. And then he killed all of his crocodiles just so the documentary couldn't own 5 years worth of that footage, just to be petty.
Yeah.
Fucking insane.
Insane, dude.
Who was the other guy? The guy, the doctor.
The doctor?
He calls himself a doctor because like spiritual sexual healing or something like that.
The other tiger guy?
Yeah.
Wasn't he like Bhagavadan
or something like that?
Yeah, Bhagavadan. Doc. I think it was Doc.
The doctor in Tiger King. He has like 5 wives or some shit.
Yeah, the harem of wives. And Dr.
Bhagavan. Doc Antle.
What the fuck?
He's a doctor of a doctor of fucking mystical science.
Oh, that's what he said.
That's exactly what he is.
Yeah.
He was an interesting fucking man, dude. Like he was actually the only one that was kind of coherent though.
Yeah, but he had like that weird shit. I didn't trust him. But he was like, yeah, he's definitely the most coherent of the three.
If you looked up, I went to a state for a show once, and I'm not going to say what the state is. You guys know who you are.
What's happening?
Literally, it's a state full of the ugliest people I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my God.
And I have never in my life, I've never walked around with such confidence in my life that I was a handsome man. And I looked around and I was like, it wasn't at the college, but it was just around. And I was like, why do humans look like this?
Oh my God.
Like, what in the fuck? There was a dude in this documentary that he was an informant. He decided to go undercover.
Oh yeah.
What the fuck?
That's crazy.
He looks so fucking weird.
His fucking weird bowl cut.
The
thing.
weird fucking bowl cut.
Yeah.
He was so fucking
Small
off.
shirt. Yeah.
There was so in the documentary as well, Joe, he actually loses his tiger sanctuary
whatever.
because he went into business with some other guy who was also a fucking egomaniac.
Yeah. Joe, I think his name was.
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe, he's Jesse.
Jesse?
Yeah, Joe Exotic is the main guy.
I'm sorry. Yeah. That's right.
And this guy, Jesse. So Jesse starts to go into a business with this other tiger guy and open up a different sanctuary, but he kind of fucks him over. That guy is fucking hilarious in the whole documentary. It's because the way he talks is the funniest thing ever. In his first interview, I remember this so clearly. He goes, well, what do you want us to do, huh? Tigers are going extinct. They don't got homes. You got to breed them. Duh.
Who said that?
You don't remember that guy?
No.
He was like, duh.
Who said what?
He's the guy that Jesse was supposed to build that new sanctuary with, but Jesse backed out and he was calling him up every fucking day, getting pissed off at him. This guy's really fucking aggressive. He doesn't have that big part of the documentary, but every time he talks, he says the funniest fucking shit.
Damn.
No, duh. If you guys watch this,
Oh, did he have the glasses? No, he had
No.
long hair. Damn, there's so many crazy characters. It's a fucking whirlwind of characters.
Joe Exotic actually goes, you see in the beginning of the doc that he's actually in jail. And the reason why this fool is in jail is because he tries to fucking assassinate.
Yeah.
He tries to fucking assassinate Carol in the most ghettoest
Kathy. What's in it? Is it Carol?
Carol.
Damn, I keep figuring it
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
In the most jankiest way possible. He tries to get somebody who was also, I think he was like in the tiger business as well. And he tries to get her assassinated for $3,000, puts it all on text, right? And he does like the biggest tell ever.
Yeah.
Calls up her husband and says like, hey, probably in his regular fucking voice, hi, I got information about Joe Exotic. And he goes, oh, really? Hangs up and they call the FBI immediately.
Before that, he posted on his Facebook. He's like, I found out where the bitch lives.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Dude. He's so fucking dumb. It is a documentary about the dumbest, most disgusting man on earth.
Yeah.
So he's a very ambitious person, which I really do appreciate about him. He has a heart because he dedicated a lot of his shit to his brother who passed away.
Oh yeah.
Really, really cool. But just to put out how disgusting he is, the people who worked at his zoo, they lived in the most decrepit, disgusting trailers. Like,
Gross.
I can't even describe how disgusting it is.
Wasn't they were paid like $100 a week or some shit?
A week.
Yeah. Ugh. And eating Walmart meat.
Yeah. So he would feed a lot of the tigers like meat, but it's like expired meat from Walmart or meat that would come in that people would return, but they can't sell it or put it back on the shelf. So Walmart would donate it to the tiger sanctuary. Those guys would get first dibs before the tigers and eat the spoiled meat.
Oh, gross, dude. So gross.
Fucking disgusting.
So gross.
The pizza.
Yeah.
He opened up a pizza joint at his tiger sanctuary, and guess what he used? The spoiled fucking meat.
Yuck.
I don't even know if people ate. Did people come in and eat that shit?
It looked like it. It did look like it. Yeah, they might sue or something. I don't know. Maybe not.
I will say this though: the pizza looked fire.
I couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah, the pizza looked fucking fire though. It looked really delicious. I wanted some of that pizza. Then there was who else was in that documentary? There was him. There was also how this documentary even started was because originally the documentarian was going after somebody who sells exotic snakes.
Yeah.
And that day when he was looking to buy an exotic snake, there was this guy that was buying an exotic snake that had a
like a white,
like a leopard or
snow
something,
leopard or something,
some rare ass fucking feline
in
in a hot van in like 120-degree weather. And he goes, "This is a better documentary."
Totally.
And then he found him through that and he started doing a documentary. That's how crazy this guy is.
Yeah. Damn, who else is there's so many characters. I literally you just finished it. So
The campaign manager.
my favorite dude. My favorite dude.
Man looked like Steve Green. Like if Steve had no aspirations and he lived in a fucking podunk, fucked up place in Oklahoma, that's what Steve Green would look like. Like fucking, he was the only sane person.
Yeah, because he had like true aspirations, like normal aspirations, I guess. Because he was originally working at Walmart in the gun department. Joe comes in to buy some bullets.
Just that premise.
Yeah, Joe's like, "I'm running for president." He's like, "Oh, great!
I always wanted to be a
campaign manager." He said, "Cool, I'll hire you." And then he said it was the worst job ever
in his life. Oh, by the way, Joe is a gay man who is polyamorous. So he had 2 husbands. Both husbands apparently were not gay.
Yeah. That's so fucked that how everyone's using each other.
Yeah.
Because one of them was like fucking the receptionist in the front, and the other one was just like free meth and drugs.
They were all fucking meth heads doing crazy meth together. So one of his husbands, you'll see him in the documentary. You just assume he's gay throughout the whole thing, but towards the end he goes, "I've been dating women my whole life since I was in kindergarten all the way till high school. I was with women." Yeah. So I was like, "So you're not gay?" "I'm gay." And his other husband was a 19-year-old kid from Southern California.
Was he?
Yeah, he's from California.
Damn, that
19-year-old kid.
Wow.
And then I think what they were saying that he was just basically doing it for free drugs and just being able to live with a bunch of cats.
That dude had the biggest fucking hands.
Yes.
He was huge.
Big ass hands, size 16 feet.
Yeah, he was huge.
He was like 6'6".
Yeah.
Giant dude. And he wasn't gay.
He wasn't gay.
He wasn't fucking gay. Spoiler alert for those. He fucking kills himself and is caught on camera.
Yeah.
So they noticed that throughout this documentary is fucking crazy.
Yeah, man. I can't.
Like it's hard to describe. This documentary is so fucking crazy. It started. One of the things that I noticed was in the doc they didn't have any personal interviews of that husband really. The one that killed himself. Right. It was because he fucking killed himself. That's why, there wasn't any to take from him. So he was showing a lot of signs of like depression. He was being really weird. They said that he was the campaign manager said that he would just walk around pointing his gun at people.
Yeah. And he had footage of him doing that.
Yeah, he said that. He said one time I woke up and he had a gun to my face. Good morning.
Yeah. Get up. Yeah.
And so I guess that day, the footage that they have, the camera's kind of not faced towards him. So he kind of goes off camera. And before he actually shot himself, he was pointing the gun at the campaign manager. They were actually really close friends. They became really close after he started working for Joe. And then he goes, "He'll get that gun out of my face. Like, don't fucking play around like that." He goes, "I'm going to do nothing." And he starts just waving the gun around. Then he puts it in his face. And then boom. Busts his fucking head open with his gun. Dies immediately.
And the campaign manager is like, "It's nothing like you see in the movies." It's like, wow.
Sat there with his fucking mouth open the whole time. He didn't know what to say.
He thought it was a prank or something like that. He's just going to believe it.
Just to show you how hilarious this documentary is, after he dies, they do the funeral. And the Joe Exotic, I
forgot about that.
He starts singing his country music at the fucking funeral, and he was making jokes. Yeah. I was like, dog.
About his golden nuggets.
About his... This fool did a eulogy about his ball sack and how beautiful they were.
He's like, "Y'all know what I'm talking about." Yeah. I'm sure everyone's seen his balls.
Yeah. Those beautiful golden nuggets.
And his mom is just crying in the front.
This dude is not, he just killed himself at the funeral. He's doing the eulogy. And in his eulogy, he just talks about his fucking beautiful testicles.
Yeah.
You cannot make these people up. These are real fucking human beings.
Dude.
I'm sure y'all know about his beautiful golden nuggets. Everybody saw them.
And then 2 months after that,
There you go.
he gets married again.
He gets married again to some other young man.
Dylan.
He's gay for sure, though.
Yeah.
This kid's gay for sure. But
Yeah.
he's gay for pay.
Yeah. Yeah.
In love with him. He marries after 2 months later. He gets his ex's or his husband who passed away.
Travis, yeah. Mother
to come to the fucking wedding. It's just her
Yeah.
and him.
The
cameraman. And that's it.
Yeah. And after that, he never.
So he was just, and she said that she felt like she was used because he just wanted proof that she had approval.
Yeah. That he can move on and all that stuff. And so fucking garbage.
The guy's Oh, did you guys also know that he ran for the president of the United States? That's what we meant
During the Trump and Clinton. Oh,
this is recent, guys. This is fucking recent.
Yeah.
So he ran for president. That's why I meant he had a campaign manager. The campaign manager was for him to run for presidency. Mm-hmm. And then because he realized he wasn't going to do that, he wanted to be governor.
Yeah. That was fun.
Which was fucking crazy. Yeah. He was like, you know what we're going to do to ISIS?
Puts the dummy or like a whatever that thing was,
and then he just blows it up. He has a habit of blowing shit up. Mm-hmm. By the way, there was a part too where when Carol was suing him for $1 million fucking dollars and he had no assets, he starts, obviously he's recording himself every day, and he just goes, "You want to get what I have? Yeah. I don't have anything. Yeah. You want my bed?" Cuts to a scene, blows up his bed.
Yeah. You want my watch? Cuts to the scene, blows up the watch.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I can't even get, my mind is so scrambled with this damn show.
It's weird because I know the allure of wanting to pet a tiger really bad. I forgot where I was. I think I was in Japan and they had this thing where you were behind the glass and you could pay to pet a tiger. Am I fucking this up with reality or is this a dream? Because I feel like Gina was there. And then I think Gina was the one that told me like, yo, they actually kind of drugged them up and, that's why it's really inhumane. But if Gina wasn't there, I would have petted that tiger.
I feel like Gina did post something like that.
Yeah. It's like super inhumane. Mm-hmm. I would have petted the fuck out of that tiger. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. I mean, that's what he did when he was running. What was it? Didn't he bring him to like the Chamber of Commerce or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. To like.
He's also a magician too, by the way.
Was he? Oh my God, he was.
He's a magician.
Dude.
He's a pizza owner, gay gun right owner, pizza parlor owner, tiger sanctuary dude. He also does magic.
I forgot about that. Dude, I can't. There's so much.
There's so much shit about this guy. It's fucking unreal. And then the other dude who was the doctor of mystical arts, Doc Antle, he's also polyamorous. He has a bunch of girls. Oh, you know that guy that I said, the guy who has said, he was like, no, duh. He says something fucking funny too. He goes, when I met Doc Antle, he was asking me, it's like, well, do you want to learn how to take care of cats? He goes, I already know how to get that type of cats. I'm trying to figure out how you get pussy. He's like, you don't remember that shit?
No.
He goes, I'm not trying to figure out how to get those type of cats. I'm trying to figure out how to get pussy, because he would have like 4 or 5 different hot wives.
Fuck, who the hell are you talking about? Man,
yeah,
I
so
forgot.
that guy was like a cult leader. So there was like women who would work for him, and he had a house for each girl that he was with.
Oh yeah.
And one of the girls that was being interviewed, she was forced to get a boob job.
I forgot about her. Yeah, she got it too.
She got a boob job. She got everything else, and she was a little weird herself.
Yeah.
And it's funny because she was talking about how, when I looked for this job.
On Craigslist, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like the Craigslist people was the guy who was the zoo manager, the zookeeper. He goes, it was that really weird skinny guy with he was the one that eats all the food from Walmart.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, when I looked up for this job, I found it on Craigslist. Right? Like, and I ain't never done this before. Fuck yeah. Yeah. And then he's the manager of the zoo.
Yeah, just like that.
There's another guy too. When you look at the documentary, he has 2 fake legs. And I was like, oh shit, this motherfucker got eaten by these tigers. And he was like, a lot of people think that I got my legs eaten by a tiger. No, zip lining accident.
It's like, dude.
This motherfucker flew off a zip line and then busted his spine, and he had to amputate his legs. Who are these?
documentary is so crazy.
And there was the other girl.
How do you remember all this? This is crazy.
Because it was so intense.
Yeah.
There was one of the other zoo girls. She lost her arm. One of the.
Oh yeah, I liked her.
She actually could have saved her arm, and she was so down for Joe Exotic. So just to put this in perspective, there was a point where she got her arm mauled by a fucking tiger, where it was basically done. But she decided, because she loved the tiger sanctuary so much, and she knew that there was a lot of animal rights activists trying to take down the sanctuary, that it was taking about 2 years for her to rehabilitate her arm so she could use it again, or they could have amputated it and she could have gone home in a couple of weeks. The reason why she decided to amputate her arm and not save her arm, even though she could have kept it, was because that if she stayed in that hospital, a lot of reporters would have came and they would have dragged out shitting on the tiger sanctuary. So if she cut off her arm, went back to work, like she was completely fine with it, it would have died down.
Yeah.
And so she sacrificed herself for that fucking sanctuary.
Yeah.
That's how much she loves that shit.
Yeah. And she was brainwashed.
But she towards the end, like when they interview her,
because they asked her, like, do you think he would have had the ability to hire someone to kill Carol? He was like, no, he doesn't have it in him. And then cut to, so how are we going to kill her? Carol's on this route.
He's
to
so
take her
dumb.
out with a blow dart.
It's like $3,000.
Yeah.
$3,000 is like nothing. Like I've never tried to hire somebody to assassinate someone, but I'm pretty sure it would not cost $3,000 fucking dollars. This podcast is brought to you by Molecule, my friends. Have you in your home had the most outdated air purifier on earth? That probably means you don't have a Molecule. Just to put it in perspective, what Molecule is, it's like the Apple of air filters. And I know some of you are thinking, I have a HEPA air filter. Well, what the hell? Did you know that technology is like 70 years old? Yes, it's that dated. And Molecule don't play. So why Molecule? Global and air pollution is worsening at an ever increasing rate. Over 80% of people living in urban areas that monitor air pollution are exposed to air quality below World Health Organization standards. And this, my friends, is where Molecule comes in. Molecule air purifiers destroy indoor air pollutants at a molecular level, removing them from the air you breathe. Molecule uses PICO technology to destroy VOCs, bacteria, mold, viruses, and other pollutants. That is amazing. See, pollen isn't just the problem. While it's easy to blame pollen for the runny noses, watery eyes, and sneezes, it's actually tiny proteins that break off a pollen grain that are responsible for seasonal allergies. Although less visible, these allergens can cause huge problems and can pass through traditional HEPA air filters. Molecule don't play that game, my friends. Molecule destroys pollutants that other filters collect. Customers who suffer from allergies reportedly love their Molecule. Since Molecule launched, we've heard hundreds of stories from parents, pet lovers, and severe allergy and asthma sufferers about how Molecule technology has transformed their lives. One customer even said she was able to breathe through their nose for the first time in 15 years. Lady, what were you doing up until that point? You were just breathing in farts through your mouth. Well, now you can breathe it right in through your nose. Fantastic. Molecule got you back, baby. So check it out. If you guys want 10% off your first air purifier order, just visit Molecule as an MOLEKULE.com and check out by entering BRAIN. Once again, for 10% off your first air purifier order, visit Molecule, MOLEKULE.com, and at checkout, enter BRAIN to get 10% off. Molecule, my friends. Get to air cleaning, get to breathing. It's so fucking dumb.
Yeah.
$3,000, and then he was like, "What?" He's like, "I just walk up to her in the parking lot and shoot her."
Yeah.
That's it. That's the whole fucking elaborate plan. I wish I remember the name of the weird looking guy. Damn. That guy looks so fucking funny, man. I'm gonna look at the informant for Joe Exotic.
Wasn't Jerry? No.
He was so weird looking. If I just put fat weird guy, I'm pretty sure he would pop up. Joe Exotic, currently in jail right now.
He's actually, I did see someone on Twitter that he's still posting from jail
Videos?
Yeah, so he's trying to get a pardon from the president.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that'd be if Trump pardoned Joe Exotic.
To be honest with you, I actually want him to be out of ever since this documentary popped out. Remember music video, Joe Exotic Country Music, Here Kitty Kitty.
Her kitty kitty. Just fire.
1.8 million views now.
When did it release?
4 years ago. It didn't have 1.8 million views.
Damn sure it didn't.
It's because it's documentary.
You're making money.
This shit's... So he shoots his own music videos. Oh, the comments are turned off. Why? This is the caption for the music video. There's one way to get a message across, and that is with music. Everyone loves music. This is his voice, by the way. It is believed that in 1997, a woman in Tampa, Florida, killed her husband and fed him to the tigers in order to get all of his property and money. People Magazine even did a story on it. Has a People Magazine link. Enjoy the video and share it with your friends. In this world, if you can sleep at night and you have enough money, you can get away with just about anything.
Wow.
That's how much he fucking hated Carol.
Yeah, he really did. Talked about it every day.
Here we go, guys. Turns out this is not his actual voice.
She liked the life she had, she loved her big cats and the beauty of being a teen.
Yeah.
Well, everything was fine, just as sweet as wine, but her husband went and disappeared.
You fucking hated her.
But then it got a little crazy, it got a little hazy, and the cops said there's something wrong here.
I thought it was him singing too, and it's not even him singing.
Duped.
I was like, he's such a good singer.
Mama's got some treats for you.
And he has like the fake Carol feed her,
Yeah.
feed the liger meat.
Yeah.
This one has fucking ligers.
The mannequin. He did the Ligers because he thought he could actually replicate or create the new saber-toothed tiger. That's what I read.
That's why he did that
That
shit.
was his belief, yeah.
But ligers get big, man.
Yeah, they're huge. They're like, they said like 11 feet.
Yeah, I looked it up a while ago too. It was like 11 feet. They can get to like
Dude, 11 feet.
11 feet, like 800 plus to like 1,000 pounds or something like that. Huge. There's a picture I saw back in the day
Oh,
of
yeah,
somebody
that-
feeding a liger, and it's like him standing up on this thing, and they're feeding
On top
it.
of a house.
Fucking 11 feet tall, a liger, dude. Liger size. Let's look this shit up right now, dude.
How much those cost?
Around 11. So I was a little exaggerated for me. So ligers weigh 800 to 900 pounds, twice as much as lions and tigers, and are around 11 feet long and 5 feet tall. So just the body alone without the tail.
Wow.
Is fucking 5 feet, dude. That's fucking gigantic.
Yeah, well, going back to all that, it's just like it sucks that the tigers are caught in the crossfires with this.
Yeah.
Like just the breeding of them, the excessive breeding, and then knowing that like the rumor about like where do these tigers go, because he says like I have 228 tigers on my farm. Like, how do you have 228 tigers? I'm sure you don't see them all at once.
Yeah.
But at one time, probably you did, or maybe that's how much you've had up to this point. But where did they go? Like you sell them off. But then there's that rumor saying like a tiger cub is no good to you after like 6 months or something like that. Because after that, that's when the upkeep and all that shit. So there was a rumor that he was like killing them and like having these mass graves.
Oh, that's right.
that,
He
yeah.
actually killed like they found like 6 tigers that were buried in his property.
Yeah. And then you just hear like random shots in the middle of the night.
He says that he euthanized them or some shit like that
Yeah.
because they were sick or whatever.
Yeah.
But who really fucking knows?
Yeah. In a lot of places, I remember, I think I read this summer too, like a lot of places donated or not, I guess donated and like that's not the word, but people will give them horses.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. And then
roadkill and shit like that.
roadkill, yeah.
Oh, that's right. They would donate like cows who just died, and then the tigers can chew on them or fucking munch on them and
And
shit.
it's just like pulling that shit like Flintstones. I'm like, damn, this is some crazy backwards.
Do you remember the
pumpkin
part
shit.
where he got attacked by one of the fucking tigers? Dragged him by his foot.
Somebody put cologne on my shoe. It's like, what the fuck?
He was like, "God damn it, you bitch!"
Yeah.
Pow!
Yeah. Oh, that scared me. I thought he shot the fucking tiger.
Yeah, he
just
shot on the floor.
Oh, man.
And they got scared, and then they're walking away. And then couple you know what it reminded me of?
What?
Remember that scene in Lion King where the hyenas were going after Scar?
Oh, yeah.
That's what. Where
That's
and the
reminded-
tigers and the lions were attacking him.
They're like, yeah.
Yeah, and they started. He shot like 4 or 5 more shots to scare them away. He goes, "I swear to God, I'm gonna put this right between your motherfucking eyes."
Yeah, you fucking
Bam!
cunt. Yeah, it's like,
Fucking
wow.
bitch.
It's like, wow.
That tiger was dragging him by his fucking
Yeah.
foot, dude. He
Yeah.
could have lost his foot.
Yeah. He fucking did the splits and shit. He did that.
God damn it! That is the definition of fucking trash. Those are the most trashiest fucking human beings I've ever met in my life, dude. Where do you find somebody who almost got paralyzed from a ziplining accident and he has 2 fake legs?
And sustained it for, I don't know how many years they've had it for, but it seems like they've been running the operation for a very long time. Like, I still don't understand, because Joe was saying, like, I don't make money off of this. And then you see his living conditions. Like, does it really I believe it, I guess, does all the money go to the tigers and the upkeep? And because it says like $10,000 a tiger.
A tiger just to feed him per year?
A year? No. Wait, really? I thought it was a month.
Oh, was it a month?
Yeah.
This is the picture of the liger.
Yeah. Oh, what's his face?
That's the Doc Antle.
That's the dude.
That's Doc Antle. Isn't that crazy? Like, I've seen, this is the picture that I saw years ago.
Yeah.
And this is Doc Antle.
Wow.
That's the fucking guy.
Wow.
Isn't that fucking, look how huge this shit is.
Wow. That's beautiful.
They can't, they're like donkeys. They can't reproduce.
Right.
Yeah.
And they probably don't have like a long lifespan because of their organs.
Why? Because they're so fucking gigantic.
Yeah. They're not meant to be that big.
I always think these animals are cute until I go to a zoo and I see them in person, and they're fucking frightening.
Yeah.
Like, a tiger's head is like the size of this fucking table. It's disgustingly huge. Remember I showed that picture? Before we were quarantined, Khalif and I were walking with our buddy Ray, and there was these kids that were walking by. It's a very beautiful day. This kid walks by. He goes, he said, what do you say about the bear? He's like, I could take a bear down.
Yeah, something like that. Or bears aren't scary, or bears aren't
something like that. But it was something along the lines he could take on a bear, right? And then he was like, he goes, yeah, I could probably fight a bear. And his dad was like, you think you could fight a bear? I don't think so. He goes, yeah, I can.
And that was it.
But just the day before, I saw a picture of a man who shot a bear. I'm not sure if they were hunting or whatever was going on, but there's a picture and a video of him getting his face mauled off. Ugh. I'm not even fucking kidding you. It looked like some shit from like Kill Bill.
Yeah.
But one of his eyes were ripped out. His whole face, when I say whole face, I'm talking about from one ear to the other ear was hanging off. Yeah. And all you see is the shreds. Meat on the inside. Yeah. Shredded and one eyeball. Yeah. And he's talking to the camera.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You can hear him. You can't believe like you can actually understand what the hell he's saying.
I think what happened was like the meat that was hanging over was covering his mouth, so his mouth was still fine. But it was it like either swiped at his face or tried to bite his face off, and he survived that shit. And this little kid was like, "Yeah, I could fight a bear." I wanted to stop him and be like, "Little bitch,
watch this.
This could have been you." Daddy, no! I have coronavirus and I'm scared. When we were walking too, there was I think people in South Pasadena, they're such nice people. They're hearing all these articles about Asian people having hate crimes and shit. So every time they see an Asian person, they're extra nice. Did you notice they're like, they're a little extra nice. You know, they're like, good morning, eye contact. How are you? Yeah. I'm like, oh, so you're trying to make sure that we're not one of them.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is what black people go through, huh? What, you see that one white person that tries to be extra nice to the black guy? Yeah. I feel like that now, dude.
Right.
Like, I'm getting racially persecuted, but the people who are really ultra sensitive, they're doing a little too much.
Yeah. It's funny. Like, it's like, you know, you see that black person, like that stereotype. If you see a black person on the street and you're terrified, you cross the road. You cross the other side of the street. Now, before, like, I guess when Trump, whatever, doubled down, was like
the China virus
thing. And then he went back. It's like, we cannot treat our Asian Americans like this. Is not right. And now, but before that, people were crossing the street when they saw an Asian, like,
an Asian girl saw us and then crossed the street.
That's how fucked up this shit. This coronavirus got people's racism fucked up.
I know. It's crazy because people, you think racism is gone. It's so apparent, dude. Yeah. It's hyper apparent, especially in comments and the shit that I read. It's not even so much, and this is why people, I think, dislike Trump a lot, is that a lot of people had their racism in check, right? Even if they did feel this way, there wasn't this like huge community that wanted to come out and speak out against certain races or certain ethnicities. But because their president is at the forefront of it, they feel empowered now. And I don't know if it's because it's my personal like confirmation bias, where I just see it a lot more now, where people are writing these racist fucking comments on every fucking thing. It's like, you gooks, you chinks, or whatever. And even especially like with I forgot, there was like a video where it was like some racist shit against Asian people, right? And there was a black guy doing it, but then every Asian person, white person, Mexican person were in order to counteract that racism from this one fucked up individual, were saying the most racist black shit. I was like, damn, dog. It's like, so were you always feeling that way, or
Right.
what's it really about? You know,
Right.
which is just a really sad thing to see. I'm like, can't really blame a whole ethnicity for that one individual shit.
Right.
But people's true colors are showing out.
Yeah, it's scary, dude. It's scary. It makes me think about my mom and all that stuff, and just people acting reckless.
Dog, your dad is black and your mom's Asian. You guys are the two most wanted people. Two of the most racially persecuted people in the country
mom
right
and
now.
dad, stay home, please.
All these fucking Middle
black is
Eastern
hot.
people are just chilling now. They're like,
whew.
it is now your turn.
Yeah. You thought 9/11 was bad.
9/11, no more.
Yeah.
Coronavirus now.
Take it. Yeah.
That shit's fucking crazy, man. It's really ridiculous though. I get a little sad when I kind of see these videos, but I haven't seen it happen to me. And I have to just make sure that I'm not insensitive to it, because I think a lot of the times when I don't see things for myself, it's hard for me to get too emotionally invested into it.
Right.
I see these videos, I get sad, I get upset, but it would be more tangible if I saw it. So like, yeah, my upset meter is at like 50%. But if I saw it happen in front of my eyes, that's when it becomes like really fucking real. But then I think because we live in South Pasadena, everybody's
You're not
going,
gonna get that.
yeah, everybody's going out of the way to be super nice right now.
Right.
Like, hello. They just fucking slant their eyes for me. I'm just like you.
Yeah.
It's like, that's actually bad racist. But
No, I definitely agree with that too. Cause like, I think we've just been fortunate enough to live in a city that is a little woke, or I don't know.
there's nice people.
Just nice people in general. I think for the most part, yeah, for all parts really. But when I do hear about the correspondent that heard someone on the White House, one of the White House officials say that they call it the Kung Flu virus, and then Kellyanne Conway was like, "That's not right. I don't agree with that. But tell me who said that."
Yeah.
And she couldn't say who really said that. I'd be curious to know who really, because if the reporter saw that person, she would have to know who that official is to like out that person. But that never came out. I don't think. I might be wrong, but I was like, that's true, because it kind of reminds me, and I am comparing it, but I'm not, like Jussie Smollett. Like he just knew, like, with the cops killing black people and like Trump and the rhetoric he's been spreading and spewing, like he needed to capitalize on that to keep it going. And so he, fucking faked Juicy Smollett.
Juicy Smollett. Shout out to you, my man.
Juicy Smollett had to fake his assault to feed fire to the.
And you couldn't even use two white people. You got two African dudes to do it.
I know. You make them look bad now. It's like, damn, bro, you fucked up. But I almost had a slight feeling of that when I read that tweet.
The little Juicy Smollett thing, huh?
Yeah. That I almost had that with this reporter.
Who was it? Tell me.
I have no idea who that reporter was.
No, I'm like, she should say like who it was.
Oh, who it was? Yeah, exactly. You know who it was? Just call him out. But maybe it wasn't somebody. I don't know. I'm so caught between like 50%. Like like you said, if I was in the presence of someone with my mom and I'm walking out and they call my mom, like, it's because of you, the virus is here. Like, then I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of, anyone can say anything on Twitter and like someone like it and then immediately turns into a viral.
People might fucking hate me for this, but when I read that tweet, I have never laughed so hard in my life. Kung Flu is hilarious. When I read that shit, I was like, that was offensive, but I'm like, that's fucking funny.
Yeah.
If somebody came up to me and they're like, bitch, you got that Kung Flu, I would have been like, I'm gonna sock you first, but afterwards I'm gonna die laughing. That's hilarious. I was like, I would have wished I would have put that in my fucking stand-up set. Kung Flu is fucking funny, man.
Pretty funny.
But then like, the context is not funny. But when I first read it, I started giggling and I was like, that's fucking genius.
I never thought of that. Yeah.
I would have never thought of that shit. Kung Flu virus.
Right. And that's just like jokes. That's just like, what's that shit? Wilding out. That would be some shit someone would say.
Kung
segment,
Flu.
It
was like a rapper diss.
Yeah,
it was
a rapper.
It was a fire ass bar. I was like, interesting. Kung Flu. Because I forgot who sent that shit to me, and I wrote LOL exclamation, and they wrote back, it wasn't supposed to be funny. I was like, dog, you sent it to the wrong person, dude. I was like, yo, that's fucking hilarious. That like it wasn't supposed to be funny. I was like, yeah, but that shit hurt my spirit, dog.
Yeah. At the end of the day, that shit was fucked up.
Yeah, I wonder if I do start to like question a lot of that stuff now because sometimes we just get caught up in the hype. A lot of the stuff I do though is more like hypothetical if. That's why I try not to get too caught up in shit. Because
Same.
if I do, I get too overly emotional about stuff that I don't really know about.
Right. The whole full story.
Yeah, because like that Juicy Smollett thing was the biggest.
Yeah, he had all Black Hollywood tricked.
Hell
Everybody came up and supported him.
You know who didn't believe it though?
Who?
Tim.
Really?
I think Tim and Rick said like, this sounds a little odd. It's like, what? And the only reason why I thought it was odd, I was like, what black man eats Subway at night, dude?
An athlete.
I know.
College athlete does.
None of my black homies ever ate Subway at night, dude.
That's true.
Are you fucking kidding me? That's the most ridiculous.
We did it when we lived in K-Town?
No, we ate that during the day.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and we only ate the specials during the daytime. So we did it. You as a black man, David? I was like, nah, man. We only ate the specials. All right. Yeah. And Wednesday was my favorite because they had turkey because it was low in calories.
You did get that a lot.
Yeah, and I told them to scoop the bread out too because I thought, and I was like the fattest at this point in my life.
Damn, you were on that. I forgot about that.
Dan used to eat that shit all the time.
Yeah, Dan and Ed.
Dan and Ed ate fucking Subway
Just walk
every
down,
fucking day.
Yep. That Subway next to 24.
That was fucking insane. Oh shit, guys. Well, that wraps up this episode of the Genius Brain podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Make sure you watch that Tiger King.
Yo, watch Tiger King.
Please watch it. It will make you forget what's going on in the world.
Yeah, even if you heard this and I'm spoiling this shit for you, I missed a lot of stuff, but you just have to watch it because it's probably one of the best stand-up specials I've seen.
Yeah, there is so much. Like, I've been so mentally constipated. I'm so surprised you remember so much shit. But like David said, there's so much that we missed that you need to watch it. It's a 7-part series.
It's almost so ridiculous. It's like I watched 6 seasons of This Is Us.
Yeah.
Where just bad shit keeps happening over and over and over.
Yeah, it's worth the binge. If you have a negative feeling about binging, this is a show to binge. It's just watching a train wreck happen in front of your face.
The case of Gabriel Fernandez is hard to watch all the way through because of how emotionally exhausting this is.
But it's very informative of how the system is working. If you want to go into that and be more knowing of how that works, that's a good documentary to kind of get a good grasp of the LA County, at least, of how that operates with the DFCS or whatever that what is it? The Department of Children and Family Services,
something like that. Yeah. But this one's more like you'll just be cracking up throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, and that's what we need right now.
Yep. Anyways, guys, you guys rap God. So white people rap now. Fucking Popeye. Hey, you can catch us on all audio platforms. You can see us on Spotify, iTunes. If you're on iTunes, give us that 5-star. Podcasts are up every Thursday and Sundays. This podcast is about everything and anything, and we're just here to give you stupid conversation on the way to your commute to work that you're not going to anymore because of the virus. So thank you guys very much. We'll see you all next time.
Peace out.
Genius Brain. Peace. Oh, where can they find you?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram, Khalif Boyd.
Khalif Boyd, check him out there, give him a follow.
Yeah.
You'll be seeing him here on quite more often. So
yeah, I talk. Can you believe that?
All right, y'all. Peace.